I want to show you how to effectively deal with in-law interference here at BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub. Now, you need to know this, that when you got married, you didn't just marry your spouse. Yes, you married into a whole new family. And while in-laws can be a wonderful blessing, yes, they can also sometimes be a source of stress, misunderstanding, and tension in the marriage. Now, the reality is this: in-law interference is one of the leading causes of marital conflicts across cultures. Now, whether it is unsolicited advice, criticism, or trying to influence your major life decisions, how you handle these situations can either protect your marriage or weaken it. So today on BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub, we will look at practical, godly, and effective ways to deal with in-laws interference without dishonoring your spouse or damaging family relationships. Number one, if you must handle in-laws interference in your marriage, number one is unite as a couple. Both of you must learn to unite as a couple. What do we mean here? Present a united front. Both of you present a united front. You see, one of the biggest mistakes couples make when dealing with in-law interference is allowing division between themselves. If your in-law sees that you and your spouse are not on the same page, see what happens. They may unintentionally or sometimes intentionally exploit that gap. They exploit that gap, yes. So you must remember, in marriage, your first loyalty is to your spouse. This doesn't mean you disrespect your parents or your in-laws. No, it simply means that you prioritize the unity of your marriage. So have open, honest conversations with your spouse about what is acceptable and what is not when it comes to family involvement. For example, now, if your in-law tends to show up at your house without notice, you and your spouse must agree on how to address it together, and not you confronting them alone, or your spouse allowing it without your consent. So when you present a united front politely but firmly, it sends a clear message to them, to both sides, that decisions in your marriage, in your home, are made together. And this reduces the likelihood of in-laws trying to divide you or override your choices. Remember, your marriage is a team. Yes, your marriage is a team. And your spouse, you must know, is your teammate for life. You must know this. Don't forget it. Number two way to handle in-law interference in your marriage. Number two, set healthy and clear boundaries early. Set healthy and clear boundaries early. You see, it's one thing to set these boundaries. It's another thing also to set them early enough. You see, boundaries are not walls to shut people out. They are guidelines to protect your marriage. You see, many couples delay setting boundaries because they fear offending their in-laws. But the longer, I must tell you, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to introduce these boundaries. You see, boundaries should be discussed privately between you and your spouse. Then it has to be communicated respectfully to both families. For example, now, if your in-laws feel entitled to know every details of your marriage, you can politely explain that you can politely explain that while you respect their concern, while you respect their ideas, you see, some matters you have to communicate to them that some matters will remain private between you and your spouse. Yes. Now, if your mother-in-law, for example, wants to make all decisions about your home or children, kindly but firmly, mark my word, kindly but firmly let her know that while you value her wisdom, while you value her contribution, you and your spouse will make final decisions as regards to such matters together. You see, boundaries should cover areas like privacy, parenting, finances, and even visiting schedules, and also communication methods. You see, when boundaries are clear, listen to me, there is less room for misunderstanding or intrusion. And remember this, enforcing boundaries consistently is just as important as setting them. Don't forget this. Number 3 way to handle in-law interference is address issues early before they grow. Address issues early enough before they do what? Before they grow. You must know that many marriages suffer not because of one big maybe in-law problem. No, but because of small issues. I mean, small issues that were ignored too long. Small, little issues that were ignored for too long. Now, if your in-law says or does something that makes you uncomfortable, listen to me now. Don't store it in your heart and hope it goes away with time. No, talk to your spouse about it as soon as possible in a calm and not accusatory way. Mark my word, in a calm and not non-accusatory ways. Don't sound it as if you have made your conclusion, you are accusing her or accusing the family of such thing you are talking about. No. For example, if your father-in-law criticizes your cooking on your career choices in front of others, you see, instead of keeping silent and feeling resentful about it, let your spouse know how it made you feel and why it is important to address it. You see, this prevents bitterness from building up, and it avoids future explosions or over accumulated frustrations. You see, when these matters are addressed early enough, when they are addressed respectfully, and when they are also addressed with love, you see, it keeps small misunderstandings from turning into long-term damage. It prevents it from turning into long-term damage to both your marriage and your extended family relationship. Handle it early enough before it becomes something bigger. Number 4 way, very importantly, ways to handle in-laws interference is build your own relationship with your in-laws. I will explain it to you. Build your own relationship with your in-laws. See, don't rely solely on your spouse to mediate all your interactions with their families. No, take intentional steps to build your own connections with your in-laws. This simply means initiating conversations, remembering something like birthdays, offering helps when appropriate, and showing genuine interest in their lives. Sometimes in-laws interference happens because they don't truly know you, and maybe they see you as an outsider. You see, the more effort you put into building rapport, the more trust and respect you earn, and the less likely they are to interfere in a way that feels like controlling. For example, if your mother-in-law has a hobby like gardening or cooking, try show interest and ask her to share her expertise. Yes, you see, this creates positive memories and strengthens bonds. And when relationships are built on mutual respect and goodwill, difficult conversations about boundaries become much easier to navigate. Yes. Number five, as I'm rounding off, learn to keep your private matters private. This is very, very important. You must learn this. Don't forget. Learn to keep your private matters private. You see, one of the fastest ways to invite in-law interference in your marriage is by oversharing marital issues with them. Mark my word, oversharing marital issues with them. You see, while it is natural to seek advice, constantly discussing every argument, discussing every decisions, discussing every of your problems with your in-laws can make them entitled to interfere. It can make them entitled to interfere or even sharing them with your family. See, learn to discipline or keep certain matters between you and your spouse. If you need, uh, if you consider to have advice, you see, seek it from a neutral party, such as a counselor, a pastor, or a trusted friend, not from someone who is emotionally invested in either side. Yes, remember, don't forget that in-laws love their child first. It's important. They love their child first, and their advice will almost always favor them. So protect your marriage by filtering what you share and avoiding unnecessary exposure of your spouse's weaknesses or mistakes. Please keep them to yourselves. And as I'm concluding, here is my final thought for you. Hear this. Dealing with in-laws, hear me now. Dealing with in-laws interference doesn't have to destroy or ruin your marriage or your relationship. With unity, with clear boundaries and early communications, intentional relationship building and the wisdom to guide your privacy. With all this, you can create a healthy balance between honoring your in-laws and also protecting your marriage. You can balance it up, not by just doing it the way you feel. There's a rule to observe so that you can play safe in your marriage business. Now, I have these questions for you. Have you ever handled loss interference in your marriage or your relationship? I want you to share your experience in the comments. It could help someone else who is also going through situations like this. And don't forget, this is BlissHills Relationship and Marital Hub. Do subscribe, share, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out in any of our weekly teachings. The Lord bless you for joining us, and I believe I'm going to see you again in our next video. And until then, continue to build the marriage, the relationship that lasts. The Lord bless you.